What's the motherfucking deal, good people? You're back with Boxing with Gizzle. We're going to get into some predictions. We're going to be real brief. I got guests coming up next week. And we're going to talk boxing. We're going to really get into some boxing. Some real expert opinion type boxing. But I just want to talk about some of the up-and-coming fights. You know, boxing is showing out again. We coming into we into 2024, and boxing is just showing out again. So we're going to talk about it. We got a doubleheader coming up, I believe, March 30th. And that's with the legendary welterweight champion, Keith, one-time Thurman. He's fighting the Australian sensation, Tszyu, son of Tszyu. He's the son of a legend. Is he a legend yet? I don't know. I don't think he really fought nobody too critical to call the man a legend, but he on his way and he might be. So with that being said, though, let's look at it. Oh, and it's a doubleheader. Don't forget. Romero, Pitbull Cruz, co-main event. PBC showing out coming into the new year with the Amazon behind them. PBC showing out already. Star-studded event, real player type shit. But let's check it out.
And I'm itching for a fight.
Boxing superstar Keith one-time Thurman steps up to take down a rising star. But undefeated champion Tszyu has other ideas.
One time? Nah, it's my time.
Plus, world champ Romero never minces words.
Pitbull, all bark, no bite.
But Mexican powerhouse Pitbull Cruz is ready to silence the trash talker. Saturday nights are made for fights. Live on PBC pay-per-view on Prime Video.
All right, let's talk about it. So, I'll start with the main event. I'm going to take the underdog in this one. I'm going to go Keith Thurman. But I would not be delusional about the danger he is in fighting Tszyu. So, but I picked Keith Thurman because if Keith Thurman can, if he can box this guy, if he can stay away from getting stopped by this guy within the first 4 to 5 rounds, I got Keith Thurman going the distance and beating him from boxing. And those of us who've been long-time boxing fans, let's not forget Thurman got popped. He got snapped. So I don't feel like Tszyu chin has been tested. And I think in this fight, it probably will get tested. Tszyu actually been down before, but he strongly got back up. Like he wasn't never hurt. But I think this will be the tester right here. Keith Thurman pros is his experience, his pop, his versatility, his footwork. He's just more of the pure boxer over Tszyu. Now, Keith Thurman cons. Inactive. He's been having trouble his last 3 fights. He had trouble every time he got hit to the body. And Tszyu goes to the body. The biggest con I see of it all is Keith Thurman is a natural 147 pounder. Tszyu is campaigning at 154, but the guy looked like he could be really fighting at 160. probably 168 if you want to. So Tszyu is naturally the bigger fighter, but my end all, my pick will still be Keith Thurman. Now, with Tszyu, it's just basically the opposites attract. Everything that works in his favor is the younger, active fighter. He doesn't beat Keith Thurman in boxing. I don't care what nobody say. He's not a better boxer than Keith Thurman. But the ring rust of Keith Thurman, let's just hope that Tszyu doesn't put the pressure on him and get him out of there early. This fight for Tszyu has to be won in the before the sixth round. If this fight go past 6, Keith Thurman for sure. But it's a big possibility that Tszyu can stop him between 4 and 6 rounds. So my end all, my results is I got Thurman by decision in the 12th. It's gonna be on U.S. soil, I believe, in Vegas. So let's just call it what it is, and the judges are gonna be hometown judges, hometown crowd. That crowd might be chanting one time all night. They might be, and we also got to see how Tszyu look, how he looks as a fighter under the big lights. He ain't never been on the stage before, so I'm excited to see what happened. But like I say, Tszyu by stoppage between the 4th and the 6th. If not, I got Thurman by decision, 12 rounds by decision. Now let's move along though to Big Mouth Rolly. You gotta love him. He's the coming of Adrian Broner. And then you got Pitbull Cruz. Okay, this fight is interesting because when you use a measuring stick of boxing, right? Pitbull Cruz became praised after the fight with Gervonta Davis, which Gervonta Davis broke his hand in the earlier round, so he was actually fighting that fight with one hand, and he still actually he survived and outboxed him and beat him on points. If he didn't break his hand, I felt like he probably would have stopped Pitbull Cruz within 7 rounds. But because he didn't, make no excuses, Pitbull just looked greater than he's ever did in his career. So I think that people have a high expectations of Pitbull Cruz that I think is not realistic. So what's going to happen is this is going to make for Rolly. If Rolly can come out, which I think he will, and he can catch him. Rolly is one of the strongest dudes in the division. If he can catch him, I think he knocks him out. But if Rolly looks anything like he looked fighting that old man that was in there whooping his ass, I don't see Pitbull stopping him, but I see him just giving Rolly a one-sided ass whooping all the way for 12 rounds. So on that one, I'm going to take Rolly. I'm going to take Rolly because of strength. I'm going to take Rolly because Pitbull just might not be what everybody's saying he is. He looked good fighting the tank with a broken hand. And the measuring stick will be if Rolly stops him, it's going to make talks for a Gervonta and Rolly fight again. But again, I don't see him doing much. So I'm taking Rolly. You got to understand the height difference. The height difference in the fighting styles and the size difference. You have a taller fighter, a rangier fighter, against a short punches and bunches type fighter, meaning, Pitbull Cruz is the fighter who has his guard right in his face, coming in, Mike Tyson style, Pacquiao style, throwing punches and bunches. You got Rolly with the reach. He's throwing thunder. He's throwing thunder down from Cuba. And I think Pitbull is gonna get caught with something he ain't never got hit with before. Now, if you ask me, Pitbull is definitely the better boxer. But styles make fights. And stylistically, I don't think he'll be able to beat Rolly Romero. If he do, then I'll be like, okay, we know Rolly is overrated. But this fight is kind of tailor-made for Rolly. It's kind of tailor-made for Rolly. So I'm going to take Rolly in this one. PBC is on the road, man. Let's get to the next one. Now, this is probably the most controversial fight.
If Devin want this fight, I want this fight, and I'll make it happen.
I've been calling out Ryan for years now. That's a mega fight.
This is what I want, and this is what I'm gonna fight. Devin will be destroyed, and his daddy's gonna have to help him up.
I'm gonna remind people just how badass I am.
Okay. With this one, right? I'm one-sided about this one. I think Devin Haney is going to whoop Ryan Garcia ass. Ryan Garcia was never special. His handler, De La Hoya, I believe that the friction between De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia is because De La Hoya had a plan for Ryan. Ryan was so big on social, he was so big on social media that they really didn't need these big fights to cash out with Ryan. Because the teenagers, the girls, they're going to come see Ryan. I don't give a damn if you go get a bum out the alley and dress him up and put him in the ring with him. They come to see Ryan. So Oscar De La Hoya's plan was to preserve this dude as long as he can, make money off these fights, make Ryan rich, make himself more richer, and, eventually at some point give him some big fights and ride off into the sunset, even with some L's at the end. But it was to cash out. So he begged for that Tank fight. And Oscar, Bernard Hopkins, them dudes over there, Golden Boy, they knew he couldn't beat Tank. Ryan knew he couldn't beat Tank. But this dude is so mentally twisted in his head. He wants fights that he doesn't actually need because he have the casual fans. See, us boxing fans don't look at him like you need to prove nothing. We know what you are. You're like an actor. You're like you ain't no different from the Jake Pauls. Go do spectacles. You have the fan base to just make money doing that. But you want to step up to the plate with these dudes who really put their all into this sport. Devin Haney won a controversial fight with Lomachenko. Some people think he lost. No matter what you think, them judges say he won. So he beat Lomachenko. He's the champ. Before Lomachenko, he went across the pond twice and beat Kambosos. And Regis Prograis. If Ryan was fighting Regis Prograis, I would bet the house that Regis Prograis stops Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney just made Regis Prograis look average, and he's far from average. If you know boxing, he's far from average. He was one of our champions. Devin Devin Haney made him look average, man. Devin Haney actually is becoming who he's supposed to be. Everything that the doubters thought he wasn't, these dudes should have fought Devin Haney 3 and 4 years ago. Because now he's becoming something else. He's becoming something else. And, you know, when these dudes fight, it's gonna show that it's levels. He's gonna whoop Ryan Garcia ass. I wouldn't be surprised if Derrick James had to throw that towel in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Derrick James had to throw that towel in there. Because he's gonna get his ass whooped. And I don't mean knocked out. I mean, he's going to be getting hit to the body, to the head. He might quit like he did with Tank. He might take the knee and quit. And then he's going to go in the press conference and act like his mental health and all this. He already putting on a show on his Instagram and all this stuff. He knows he doesn't have a chance in this. He don't have a chance in this fight. And if you're watching this and you think he has a chance in this fight, like Mayweather uncle say, like Roger Mayweather say, some people don't know shit about boxing. Ryan gonna get his ass whooped, and that's all I gotta say about that. Let's move on. Now this one here, this is a disappointment, but I'm going to play it anyway.
News to share with you, good news this one too as well. A fight has been made between Canelo and Jaime Munguia. It is now official. It will happen on May 4th, so Cinco de Mayo weekend in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena on DAZN for you. Doesn't get much better than that.
Oh my gosh. Canelo back. May 4th, Cinco de Mayo weekend, like you said.
All
There's
Mexican
so much.
Fight.
Oh my gosh, that's the thing. It's a fight that I know that the Mexican fans are going to be excited about. Number one, it's the first time since 2017 that Canelo fights a fellow Mexican. That was back when he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So it's been quite some time. And Jaime Munguia, obviously just 27 years young, but 43-0. He's coming off a fantastic win over John Ryder. It's a massive step up in competition for him. And credit to Canelo for giving him the opportunity. But I like it. The young
still
gun.
Feels like a very live fight, though, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, I know there were some people that wanted to see him fight David Benavidez, that being Canelo. I know there was also some talk of maybe Edgar Berlanga. Yeah, Benavidez would have been great, but this would have been choice number 2 in my opinion. And I love the component of Mexico versus Mexico. Tijuana versus Canelo, who kind of represent all of Mexico. It's going to be great scenes.
And I love the
wait.
fact that we get an all-Mexican fight on a Cinco de Mayo weekend. That's a first for me, so I'm excited about that one.
Yes, Canelo, there was so much talk about, is he staying, is he going, PBC. So here we have PBC and Golden Boy working together, which is interesting as well. Everyone's working together in the boxing world. It's kumbaya.
And we should be working together.
We should. Yes, we should.
Ariel and I are willing to wear sombreros. We'll do whatever it takes to host this fight.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
really?
I'm impartial. So actually, in that case, we'd be going for both guys since they're.
What if we let you wear a tie?
A tie would be nice. A tie would be nice. Nevertheless, though, I love seeing Canelo fight. I don't know how many more he has left. It's amazing how active he is, and that's why I think he's one of the greatest of all time. And I love the idea that a 27-year-old who has 43 wins at 27, pretty remarkable, who seems to be peaking at the right time, is getting this opportunity. So it's a very live fight. I'm curious to see what the odds are going to be. Watch out, May 4th, T-Mobile, Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's going to be
live
great.
on DAZN. Make sure you join us.
Man. See, the problem with this is crazy. This is crazy. So, of course, the real boxing world is upset. There's no way that Canelo should be fighting Jaime Munguia. Not saying that Jaime Munguia is not a worthy opponent. Not saying that he haven't worked his way up and he's undeserving of a fight with Canelo, because I do think he's been putting the work in to get a fight of this magnitude to make the money to feed his family. He's been putting that work in and been doing a wonderful job doing it. But when it comes to what boxing fans have been hungry for, Benavidez been whooping everything in front of him flawlessly. He's been calling Canelo out now for a few years. Canelo states, I don't want to fight Mexican fighter. I don't want to fight Mexican fighter. I show up for Mexico. I don't want to fight Mexican fighter. Then you turn around and you giving us a fight with Haney Munguia. The thing is, he's scared of David Benavidez, and he's gonna run from that fight. You know, I'm hoping that Haney Munguia can pull it off and beat him. It's time to start retiring these gatekeepers in boxing. It's time to start retiring these gatekeepers in boxing. They are the ones that run the fans off who spend money. We didn't ask for the boxing fans did not want to see this fight. We wanted Benavidez. I would even be cool with him announcing, the works of a Benavidez fight after this. He has no intentions of fighting Benavidez. None whatsoever. Whatever. He's fighting. I like Benavidez's record because he has a realistic record. With Haney Munguia with his 40-something wins, no disrespect to the Mexican fighters that come from Mexico, but, these dudes be young and don't have many pro boxing bouts in the States here. And Mexico doesn't record all of the fights. So you get these guys, these Mexican fighters coming from Mexico, and they'll come to the States already 26-0. 26-0 record against no one we ever heard of. Some guys not even ranked. But they'll come to the States 26-0 and their career starts there. It's not fair to the fighters who's actually been putting their work in here, and the amateurs, the Olympians who, have records of 10-0, 12-0 when they go pro. And actually you can go back and look at the resume and recognize every name on that resume that they went in the ring with. You get the Haney Munguias, though, and several other Mexican fighters. They come into the States with a record that we cannot recognize. So then you would get on paper, it'll say Canelo's record, and then you'll have Haney Munguia 40-something-0. 40-something-0 against who? No disrespect to the Mexico boxing scene, though. Not taking nothing away from the fighters over there. It's just Mexico has done a poor job at the recording of the fights because we don't know them. We don't know them. So, with that being said, we can't cry over spoiled milk, though. We got ourselves a fight, folks. And I'm picking Haney Munguia because I'm choosing youth. I'm choosing youth, and I'm choosing the upset. I'm choosing youth in the upset for a change in boxing. Let's get these gatekeepers up out of here. So I'm pushing for Haney Munguia. Do Canelo beat him? I don't know. We've seen Canelo kind of on the declining end. We've seen him on a declining end, so it's hard for me to call. I don't know which Canelo is going to show up. I don't know which one is going to show up. His last fight in Mexico, it wasn't that interesting at all. I think I fell asleep a few times. So we'll see, though. But I'm definitely going Haney Munguia. And if Canelo does win this fight, please, do we got to get a petition going? You have to fight David Benavidez. It will be a passing of the torch. You got to do it, man. Do it for the fans. That's the fight we want. We watched Earl and Terrence do it. No matter what the outcome was at the end, two warriors got in that ring and laid it all out in there. They left it all in the ring. We need Canelo Benavidez. That's the fight to make. I don't see nothing bigger than that right now. So, y'all get in the comments. Tell me who your picks out of Pitbull Cruz, Rolly Romero, Keith Thurman, Tszyu, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Saul Canelo Alvarez and Jaime Munguia. It's been real. Boxing with Gizzle. Holla at your boy.